Hey guys, Warren Eckstein here. Not answering questions, not even talking about your pets at this point, but listen to me carefully. In 1980, God, that's a long time ago, before there was an Animal Planet, before there was a National Geographic, before there were any animal shows on TV other than Jacques Cousteau and Wild Kingdom, there was my little radio show in New York. That time I believe I was on WOR, big radio station, but just New York. And the calls kept coming in from listeners. Warren, my dog's overweight. My cat's not getting enough exercise. What can I do? What can I do? So besides answering your regular behavioral questions like your dog's jumping and humping, I realized that this was a serious situation. Dog and cat obesity. So I spoke to two of my close friends at the time, Dr. Steve Weiler and his brother, Dr. Doug Weiler, who both studied at the University of Bologna in Italy. Incredible guys and knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. In fact, I trained one of the first Neapolitan master dogs that they brought over from Italy for. Anyway, I spoke to him and said, hey doc, are you seeing this in your practice as well? Are you seeing a lot of overweight dogs and overweight cats? And what's the effect on them? And we talked about the effect on them, and I'm going to go through this with you. But the reason, by the way, I wrote this book with my first wife. That's Faye, who passed away at 36 years old, at a very young age. Diagnosed, she was gone 6 months later from melanoma. And without her, you wouldn't be talking to me now. She literally made me who I am. And this is Larry, Sir Lawrence. He was a dog I took out of a shelter that bit a bunch of people, and I trained them for a Broadway show. Anyway, so that's Faye, and the book Pet Aerobics. So the book's not available, and some of the book may be outdated, I get it. But I really, now that I'm doing the radio show in Los Angeles on KRLA, and my nationally syndicated radio show for Radio America that goes all over the world, I thought, let me revisit this. And I'm still getting the same amount of calls about people talking about their obese dogs and their obese cats. And I'll go to the vet and I'll say your dog's fat, your cat's fat, whatever. And fat shaming is not the way to get through to a person. This is their dog, their cat. This is their kid. You can't call their kid fat. You can say what my mother said. There's no such thing as fat, just big bone. We were always big bone. But the reason I bring this up, it's a fun subject, but it's serious. And I talk about Pet Aerobics, and Richard Simmons kept coming up to the show, and 4 pages in People magazine, big spread there, all over Time. It was all over the place. And I was just me at that time, doing a little radio show and training hundreds of dogs in the New York metropolitan area and up and down the East Coast. So I wasn't prompted, but I was sitting around in the backyard the other day. I guess I was being a little nostalgic. And I said, you know, this book is really just as important today as it was back then. So what I decided to do is, starting in a couple of weeks, I'm going to do like a 5 or 6 week discussion with you. We're going to do it on YouTube. And this way it gives me the opportunity to go a lot more detail. And we'll talk, we'll have fun back and forth. I'm sure we will. But if you're not following me on YouTube, now's a great time to subscribe. It's free. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. So I'm excited about this. 1984. This isn't my first book. I got another book out before this one called Yes Dog, That Try. I think now I have 11 or books that I've written. Here's another book you haven't seen of mine, Understanding Your Pet. We'll talk about that in the future. But if you have a dog or cat, you want to make sure you keep them healthy, keep them in shape, you're going to want to follow me when I do my little Pet Aerobics seminars coming up the next few weeks. So subscribe now, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. In the meantime, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss and tell them they'll be svelte by the time I'm through.